Hey traders, hello, welcome to another edition of the Crypto Lab with Alex, featured by Trading Analysis. I hope you are all well. As usual, we're going to go today reviewing what has been happening on the crypto space in the last week, and of course, we're going to look a little bit of a macro environment and what is going on in some of the funding space regarding the um, macro markets in the world and how they can affect the crypto space. So, as you know, always I will look your requests and charts after the presentation. So just type it in the chat box as well as with some comments that you maybe want to leave. So let's start and let's look a little bit of macro environment. And I would like to start with some of the observation that we are looking for the last couple of months regarding movements in the yields. So this is one of the charts which is probably most looked in the last couple of weeks in the world, maybe even months, because the 10-year yields, US 10-year yields, has a big impact on many things. And we have seen a drop lately due to, I think, renewed fears because of the Delta variants of this COVID, which is basically are threatening September, October, November, since the majority of population is still not vaccinated. I mean, the numbers of vaccinations are rising, but central banks also expressed their concerns about the effect regarding the next couple of months, and that this Delta variant has potentially put upon the economy. So I guess this reflation and deflation scare will continue to go through the economic system towards the next year, since I think the majority of population, let's say around 70%, will be potentially reached some around 2022, not maybe the beginning, but let's say half of 2022. So maybe that will be the probable end of this COVID pandemic. So we have seen the CPI, and we have seen also by different metrics, inflation is rising into the system. But in general, I will say that this will go back and forth in regards of outlook on yields. Here we can see a 10-year yield moving lower in the last couple of weeks, but we have reached one of the support levels. For now, I stopped being so bullish above 2%. So looking the probable outcome in the next couple of months, I will start to be conservative on this development and start to basically count this as a potential ABC on the upside. So definitely, if we go above this 2% in the next couple of months, I will look to restructure possibly into 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But for now, I like to keep it simple, and let me show you a bigger screen. Simple and conservative. So I will look for a little bit more upside, especially if this support holds and we develop a 5-wave sequence on the upside. So I am monitoring that. As you know, in all of the figures, energy prices are the biggest component of this inflationary pressure, and we are seeing also the OPEC reaching some agreements to kind of expand delivery and increase production, so that might cool this off in the months to come. On the European side, as I pointed out a couple of times, this is the chart of the 10-year Bund. It's inverted of yields, and I'm taking the price. It's basically just inverted chart of yields for the 10-year German Treasury. And here, because of the, let's say, more visibility in this wave structure here, which is at least to some degree very compliant with the Elliott wave sequences, we can see a wave 1 and 2 up in 3 up to this 2618, and then we see a sideways consolidation. And I have been very vocal since beginning of this inflation scare a couple of months ago that this might potentially turn into a sideways corrective triangle, which might take us for even a year more, and then continue with the deflationary scenario further on the upside. So we are seeing a little bit of confirmation of that hypothesis. And if you can see, move down developed only 3 waves. So there is a big probability that we are going to stay on this front, actually tracing out potentially some type of a triangulation here, moving sideways for some time, and then when this balancing of economy comes, higher deflationary forces might kick in again on the scene and actually send a price of these bonds higher, or some, let's say, global event which will actually put the yields lower, economic event which will put the yields lower and the price of bonds higher on this chart. So I'm going to continue to follow this, and if you ask why do I follow this on a crypto webinar, I think definitely the inflation deflation scare is affecting how people view liquidity into the system, especially from the perspective of what the central banks are going to do. I think definitely that the especially cheap liquidity into the system available to some portion of participants, especially hedge funds and funds which are using their collateral to get relatively cheap funds to finance their positions, are also included into cryptos, and every withdrawal of the liquidity, I don't think it's going to affect crypto in a good way. So that's why, but I mean, there is no clear correlation with the crypto markets, but definitely we have seen in the periods of the either stock market moving lower or some reduced liquidity that crypto markets react. So I like to watch these couple of factors just to have a view what is going on with these other assets classes which are directly impacted by liquidity into the system. And I think this also kind of has a butterfly effect on the crypto markets. And if you look in the past, that is clearly visible that when the stocks moves lower, crypto markets also follows, or vice versa. To some degree, we had seen before Bitcoin kind of announces some type of move lower in stocks in later weeks. So this is my view on yields and liquidity. We have also seen some reverse repo problems, which means that actually the banks in the United States are reducing liquidity into the system, and they are not willing to keep such a big reserves provided by Fed. So they're doing a reverse repo. Actually, they're taking their collateral and giving back this right to use reserves and expand the monetary base, which is also a sign that they evaluate probably from some reason or the other that the liquidity should not be present to that extent, and that this is becoming a little bit risky to be exposed in that quantity. Okay, so let me just look for you a little bit of US dollar, which is tied to cryptos more or less, not ideally. We didn't see, basically, we see the kind of a more same correlation between the dollar and the Bitcoin. If you can see during this rise in US dollar from 2008, we also have seen the Bitcoin moving up, so there is no direct correlation in regards to that. But it's okay just to follow this. They might has a bit of an influence, especially on this if we get to a problem of liquidity into some euro-dollar markets or in the dollar system overall. So that's why I look dollar index as well. So as you know, we are following this for already from 2020. We looked for a five-way move down, small truncation. Our first five-way moves probably is already over, or a little bit more upside. And then we are going to see a pullback in this B wave and then a continuation. Of course, this can morph into more kind of a WXY and dollar going higher. So that is left to be seen. But even in this simple wave structure, we can see that after a B wave, which can also develop in a sideways fashion, this supports around 91 and 92 might be a nice place for a dollar to reverse. And if this is the case, we are going to see dollar rise until the probably end of 2021, even beginning of 2022, because our timing suggests, of course, that cannot be so precise, but when you see that A wave took a couple of months and B wave might take a couple of weeks, and then a C wave also can take a couple of months. We are already almost in August. So we can time that for the end of 2021 and beginning of 2022, which actually complies with our potential lows in a Bitcoin. So I will not expand a further macro analysis. I think that's relatively enough. So we can look and slowly start to look for a crypto space. Usually I look this news. You have seen this European Union ban for anonymous crypto wallets, and they withdrawn that announcement because it was misinterpretation. Bitcoin moved lower and then recovered. We have also seen some of the Elon Musk kind of a saying, I might gonna go back in Bitcoin, and all of this stuff. I think it's not so important at this moment. I'm really not of an opinion that the crypto space and participants, especially big guys, are gonna listen that much attentively what the Elon Musk is saying. Of course, because of the last couple of developments of going back and forth with his statements. So I will not take that as some of the potential catalyst for the possible move on the upside in the Bitcoin. So I didn't see anything really special in the last couple of weeks also in the news. I think good thing is that Janet Yellen made the initiative for the stable coin regulation. We have seen also the Jerome Powell congressional hearing and his thoughts regarding cryptocurrencies. His opinion is that actually when the CBDC or the central bank digital currencies are issued, namely US dollar, there will be basically no need for the existence of the cryptocurrencies overall. I don't agree with that. I still don't think that we should look the crypto space from the view and the perspective only of the currency thing. Actually, who knows a little bit more the crypto space, this is actually a new technology or a new way for functioning without the central authority, but with the help of new developments of the infrastructure and actually possibility to build many of the applications on the blockchain. I will, of course, not purely look this market from the currency perspective. So his statement, I think, is probably because he didn't deep enough or studied enough what is actually a blockchain, which is understandable. I mean, it is still kind of a more or less esoteric thing still. So I still think blockchain has a future, and I think it will thrive. We just have to figure out the conditions, how the new inflows will actually return. And that's the main question, which I also very much talk with my members. And I think this is the key issue. As regarding of membership, you probably know I'm coming from the trading analysis. I'm a lead in Forex and crypto space. Trading analysis is covering stocks, cryptos, and Forex. We have an extensive service, and you can check us out on the trading analysis website. And we have an extensive crypto coverage already for almost 4 years. With a viable results and a special risk strategy. So we have a number of features, members webinars, Discord channel, repository service, and many other features. So check us out if you like potentially to be led in these crypto markets on a more professional way. And you can be sure that we are going to guard against any potential a risk exposure that can endanger your overall accounts, and that we proved that in the past, and every member of the trading analysis can confirm that. So check us out. You have a trial membership, so you can see what we do. Okay, so let me continue. And one of the discussions I usually have with my members is regarding this market cap. Okay, guys, so market cap fell from almost 1.3 trillion. We have traded 2 days ago at 555 billion. I think it was even less a couple of weeks before, when we touched the first low. Maybe I'm mistaken, but let's say it was under 600 billion. So can somebody explain me, and please, I would like to hear your opinion, and you can type it in a chat and leave it in a comment, how we can add another trillion and a half, for example, just in a Bitcoin market, and leave the price until the end of the year around 100K or even more, and from where this liquidity will come. Okay, so I just want to see the reasoning, because if you have potentially stock market rolls over, and according to our other service, which leads by Todd, Bennett, and Terry, they're very vocal on looking specific levels on the stock market, which might indicate that we are close to some correction, deeper one. So that means actually that people will flow out of the risk. And this also we have seen before that it impacted cryptos negatively. Okay, I don't believe for now that people from stocks will flow into cryptos as a safe haven. Cryptos didn't really shown their capability to provide less volatility, and also to be some type of a safe haven. And also, I don't like this Bitcoin change of narrative all the time. So, okay, Bitcoin started as a currency, and then we flipped to a store of value because of the global debt. Now we are flipping to a narrative, it can be an inflation hedge. So, I don't know, maybe we can finish in a couple of changing of narrative that the Bitcoin is going to be, I don't know, a first line of defense from the space invader. I mean, that kind of sounds a little bit more that you are looking the potential explanation to yourself how the Bitcoin, or you maybe want to assure yourself that Bitcoin will go up. I mean, it's kind of a nonsensical changing of narrative. Okay, so let's agree with some type of a store of value, because we have a global debt. We know what's going on with that. As a currency, still, it's not a success. And Jerome Powell was actually very vocal on that. So either we go in a again, deflationary scenario. So we have a delta variant going higher, we have inflation narrative moving lower, and then we have another pump of fiscal or monetary, most probably fiscal liquidity into the system, and okay, Bitcoin goes up. That's fine. Is it probable? We will see. We don't know. So what is the other narrative? We can have some black swan event. It is always possible that we have some, I don't know, kind of an economic disaster or weather catastrophe or who knows what, which can maybe prove to be, and by design, actually place Bitcoin as a safe haven. It might happen. I don't know what is the probability for that, but um, adoption is rising, but not at that pace that will actually propel the 1.5 trillion or 1.2 trillion again inflows with such a big speed that we come to 100K very soon. So don't take me wrongly, I like cryptos, I'm bullish on cryptos, I like the blockchain space, I like the philosophy behind it. I think we should function in decentralized world. But I'm just kind of looking from this from different perspective because I don't like to see a colored picture. I see people are putting different colors, starting to kind of it's telling it's going to be that, it's going to be this. It's more like looks to me that they kind of attempt to maintain this underlying bullishness by any cost. I like to look things most likely through the reality glasses. So I'm trying to dissect a little bit from more different perspective and see if there is bits of reality in all of these narratives. So I really welcome, this is my question really, I'm questioning myself, of course, in attempt to giving the best service to our members. So I warmly invite you to leave your comments and your opinions so that we can jointly kind of probably figure out what is going on here, because the massive adoption according to the Metcalfe law might happen, but it's still not happening, okay? And I have discussed that on a webinar we had. Okay, so let's go and look some of the charts. Of course, as always, we're gonna start with the Bitcoin. And you know, our overall narrative regarding the Bitcoin. So I'm going to start with a broader outlook. As you know, we are tracking for now a possibility that this is wave 1 and 2, up in 3, some type of wave 4. We structured it here as an ABC, and then potentially this is a 5-way move down, maybe a little bit more downside to this 25, 26K. Maybe this is just an ABC triangle, and then we have another ABC to this 20K. I still cannot say that. As you can see, we are trading pretty much sideways for already months, and we are staying in that range, okay? So, yes, Sylvan, I will reply on that after I finish. It's not like that you can use a margin, because in the lower liquidity environment, brokerage usually reduce margin exposure. So you cannot do that in this type of environment, okay? Okay, so let me continue. I see here still a sideways consolidation. This pop really doesn't mean anything for now, guys. I mean, I don't know how you can build any bullishness from here just looking at this. I'm really kind of I mean, that's like you are picking something in a dark room, or a search a needle in a haystack. How you can build anything bullish by seeing just this candle? I don't understand how people can suddenly become bullish just on the base of this, and they were buying all of these dips, which is kind of a, I don't know. I mean, to me, it brings the question in my mind: what the people are thinking. Is there any confirmation here? Is there anything that we can see on these charts from the technical perspective? And we explored already the macroeconomic perspective and also some of the issues regarding the narrative in cryptos, how we can build anything on it. I mean, it's really a question for me. So I'm not still building anything on it, either for me or for our clients. I'm trying to look this from the perspective, which will tell me that before we go above 40K, and using this methodology that we use, I want to see a clear 5 waves up, okay? Reaching 52, 53K, and then I will buy a pullback. So I don't understand why people are always trying to catch some lows, because if we see a 5 waves up, we will see at least some decent pullback, and the upside is so big that you basically are not going to miss anything. And here you are risking trying to catch these lows without any proper base, and you're probably always stopped out. No sense, guys. No sense. Okay. So I'm going to continue track. I'm still not clear what is this. Is this an ending diagonal? So A, B, maybe a little bit more down in C, D, and E, and we finish this, we go in a pullback and then continue towards this 20K. Already birds on trees knows that big guys are waiting with their orders around 20K. So probably majority of the funds are located and focused on this area for the next buying. Is that a sign that Bitcoin will come to that one way or the other? Potentially, yes. That is one piece of information. Also, we can see from the different technical perspective that this area proves most of the things combined in one place, that this might tell us that potentially that can be the proper low. Okay, so there is a 38% retracement from this move. There is also a base channel upper line, which is a pretty solid support level. There is this channel moving on the upside, which is also having a support there. And we also have some time relation with this correction in wave 2 and wave 4, which pairs up with January 2022. So this is my first scenario. Okay, I'm going to show you something now, because I've been asked many times by different participants on the Twitter feed and also in our membership, what if this is flat? Okay, so let's say everything is rosy, and from here, some way or the other, Bitcoin flies to 100K until end of 2021. Okay, so this will be this scenario. Okay, so this is the notion of the flat corrective pullback, but in that case, you have to restructure all of the intermediate waves, and you have to restructure all of the higher time frame outlook. Okay, so let's say this was a wave 1 and 2, and we are still actually in the wave 5 of the orange wave 3. So we didn't finish actually the wave 3. We still are in this wave 3 that we are actually seeing here being completed. Okay, so because you have to restructure the wave pattern to adjust it to a proper fib ratios, and also to adjust it to a wave structure that suits a possible advance. So that will mean that we are going up immediately from here and continuing moving towards 140K. Okay, I can live with that, that's fine. But this has to develop in a very serious confirmation by a 5-wave move on the upside, as I said. So until I see anything moves in one case or the other and actually going above 47.50, 52K for this wave 1 on the upside, sure, that's fine. If I see that, I'm going to wait a 3-way pullback, and then I'm going to buy potential breakout or the rest of the position. I can enter small and add numerous combinations. But the biggest importance of this probable event is that you see a confirmation or something that will tell you that actually you might be in the bullish trend on the upside. Okay, so that is a very important thing. So that's why I'm going to say I'm going to keep this scenario, bearish scenario, and I'm going to show you why I told my members that some of the altcoins I think are very close to reaching some longer term lows. Okay, so that's why I included additional scenarios, but my main scenario will be this one, and I will still expect some type of a correction here, one way or the other, back to, let's say, a 40K, and then further move down to 20K, which will be my longer term entry, okay, for this wave 5 here. So everything is clear about the Bitcoin, guys. I'm not going to go back, so if you have any questions, you can type it in. I'm going to switch to Ethereum, which is basically the same thing. So we are looking for a correction in Ether, pretty much the same, although the potential on the upside is pretty much big. And I will show you Ethereum. I will show you Ethereum Bitcoin, which is for now very bullish. Okay, I forgot to show you one thing, and that was, I think, Bitcoin dominance chart. So let me just go quickly over that. So dominance chart in the same position. I still think altcoins for some time, maybe soon, will going to outperform Bitcoin, or Bitcoin is going to fall in a bigger rate for this wave 5 here. I don't know which one of these events will happen, but it will be 1, 2, down in 3. This is still a wave 4, maybe even a triangle. As I said, maybe even finished one here, something like this, a strange one, but sometimes they can be strange. So A, B, C, D, and E, and we go down, okay? So where we are at? We are at Ether. I'm going to enlarge the picture, of course, for you. And basically the same thing, although to me, this correction here and what is going on Ether, it's a little bit more hidden than on Bitcoin. We had the 5-way move lower, and subsequent looks like some potential triangle in an X wave, and then a further continuation to the downside. So I have basically the same scenario, that we're in the 4th wave, which will last a couple of months, and then we go up in Ether. As you know, Ether is also one of the favorite cryptos, taking in account of expansion, version 2.0, 3.0 in the future, and also capabilities of this cryptocurrency if you look at it compared to others. Okay, so let me look for you a Bitcoin on a smaller time frame. I will just show you a couple of other cryptos that I'm looking. So this is a Bitcoin on a smaller time frame. And if we go a little bit more here deeper, this still has no, at least to my point, a clear implication of what this can be. It can be also that 5 waves down are finished in 8. This is some type of a flat. So we go up in 5 waves up to this 40K, and then we reverse. So it can be also a beginning of the ending diagonal. So I don't see any reason why should I be involved now in a market which I don't know what's going on. So as the first rule in trading analysis, trading part, we have a part of which is called pattern recognition. So if we don't have a visibility of what is going on, why should I trade it? I mean, there is no any reason. So this pattern visibility will be more clearer, especially if we see a little bit more advanced, and this turns out to be some type of a flattish corrective in a 3, 3, 5 on the upside. There is also some other variance here, It can be that this wave A is not finished and we are in some type of an ending diagonal. I really don't know yet, and I'm just patient and waiting market to tell me. Okay, so I still really don't know how this can unfold. It can be wave 1 down, up in 2. This can be some type of a wave 3 still not finished because we didn't reach the new low. And then wave 4 and wave 5, and it can take some time. And actually we complete either a flat or we complete up in a B wave. So if we don't see a flat, you will see just 3-wave pullback and then a continuation. If you see something more exuberant on the upside, that will be a sign that potentially we are in the new bull market. It's simple as that. Okay, so this is the smaller time frame wave count. Also, we are looking on Ether on the smaller time frame, something like this. Let me show you an Ether. I'm also wondering, and I have several options. This can be an A triangle B down in C, and this is also can be some type of a ABC on the upside. I don't know if we didn't reach the new low. It's basically double bottom. So this still can be a 5 waves up with a 3-wave complex pullback. And now we are heading towards some of these resistance levels. So in Ether, if you look, there is a plethora of resistance levels on the upside. So it will be very hard for Ether to surpass that if we don't see something, I mean, some crazy move moving on the upside immediately and surpassing all of these, let's say, resistance levels that we see. Okay, let me just put here a channel because this is actually the range that we are in, and we are still trading in this range with a holding. As you can see, this support holds very well. If we see a couple of more attempts to break this support around 1,800, I think that actually this support will give up and that we might finish at lower levels to this secondary support around 1,200, 1,300. Okay, so we will see. I don't know for now. I'm still just can see this as a sideways price action without any meaningful move on the upside. So how I can be bullish? I mean, no way. Okay, so let me show you some of the cryptos which I think are might close and be close to potential bottom. One of them is Polkadot. So when you look at the wave structure, I have been wondering a couple of days why some of these altcoins are actually very close to possibly complete these patterns, and maybe I can be caught on guard, off guard. So I started to look deeper and to look more of these cryptos and trying to see actually are the patterns close to its finish. And on this Polkadot, I will say definitely we are coming to some levels which might potentially be the levels around 6 and 8. If you remember, we have been very vocal on Polkadot reversing, although my target was a little bit higher. I was identifying this as a 5-wave sequence, but to be honest, I didn't nail this high. I was looking for a little bit higher levels, but definitely what I was very vocal about is that for a 3-wave pullback very soon. And now we are seeing that. We have seen a sharp move down in A, up in B, or some form of a B wave, and now we are seeing a potential move down, even in some type of a 5-wave move, which can lead us down to this support level where I will have to have some type of an exposure, of course, small one, on Polkadot and start beginning accumulating, possibly in hypothesis that this is actually a wave too low, and then after confirmation I can then add on it. So it's not very far. It can be that looking this Bitcoin dominance chart, Bitcoin can, after some time, after this fourth wave is done, go down and reach 20K, and all of these alts come around these levels, and that will be it. Okay, so that can be one of the scenarios. Also, if you look Aave, Aave still didn't manage to trace a clear 5 waves up, and we are still in some type of undefined possible X wave, which can be as a triangle. So we definitely didn't see, it can be also as a leading diagonal, but very weird one, which I don't like to do so. Okay, so I still don't know. I have to look what is going on here, but if this starts to move sideways, I will just classify it as an X-wave triangle, and I will look for lower levels. So nothing for now. It tells me that this correction is over. Okay. Also, if I look ADA is looking very nicely here, holding this support, but potentially we can go actually lower because this doesn't look like any breakout of a channel or a major resistance levels. We just held support, which can probably we can test it very much sooner than later. Okay, but it's very close. I mean, we are already took almost 100% of the time. That happened in a second wave. So next one is 1618, which is actually beginning of September, and 200 is around October. So I think some of these alts will go before the main Bitcoin on the upside. I mean, that's how I read these charts. Kusama is also very interesting because Kusama has already reached equality. So if you look the wave structure, 5 waves up, ABC, equality reached exactly. So if this will morph to some type of an AB ending diagonal, some strange form, or it's going to be a complex one, it rest to be seen. I can just here note and notify myself that I have seen a measured move, barely mostly reaching 50%. So I'm on guard here. I'm going to look if this is going to develop a 5-wave move on the upside. Dogecoin as well. Yeah, WXY, maybe a little bit more downside. Maybe this is a triangle and another push. I will not touch Doge before this support around 0.06, definitely, if I don't see something more on the upside. So it still has a down trajectory, okay? And I've also seen on some others, some of the potentially close and closing sequences which can unfold in a couple of months, and then we can potentially turn higher and start building some of the longer term positions. Okay, so Matic, very strange. If we identify this as a WXY, we already reached equality. Is Matic finished? Yeah, possibly. If I see a 5 waves up, reaching above this or to this resistance and a pullback, I will be definitely interested. Okay, because I think there is more upside. And I see that on many other currencies. So let me just stop here, and I think you get my idea. Okay, what I'm seeing, the dynamics in this market actually, and what is actually going on. Okay, so let me look. I didn't pay attention to your writings because I have to do a presentation. So don't take that as I will just now you read your comments and see your requests. Hey, Ujvai is a member. Hello, guy. Hey, Oleg, always present. Wilson, Felix, Team 51. Gold. I don't know. Gold is doesn't look very good. I will show you gold now. Gold doesn't look very good. Ah, this Camtasia always, I press it accidentally, and I apologize for this, guys. I just have to shut it down. I have to remove it from here. It happened already in a live stream yesterday. Let me look gold for you, and gold is, I mean, basically just going sideways. And actually it's turning lower. So gold is really poised to go lower levels until the end of January 2022. So nothing bullish here. Okay. And gold also is kind of inflationary, deflationary thing, but above 3%, 4%, not before. So you can look gold as well as the Bitcoin maybe now together. And for now, probable direction in a gold it's down. Okay. So I will not build anything on gold in that respect. Okay, so Timmy, I mean they look in countries like Venezuela. Yeah, but that's just the beginning. Okay. Ethereum, true, I can see how people can invest in it. Yeah, I agree. Ethereum is very investable because it has a purpose already. Okay. Silvan is, we already explained that regarding margin. Anton Lazaret. Hello, Anton. Good evening, Alex. X bar and one. That's a lot of requests. One is still in some type of a corrective pullback. An X bar. Let me just look in X bar. I will try to find it here and see what the X bar is doing. Yeah, nothing much. Still in this consolidation. So it's far above invalidating this probable fourth wave. So as you can see, gravity is now towards downside. Is this correction over? We don't have any viable proof. If this is a triangle, we don't have a proof. So we need to wait something more on the upside so that we can be sure that this one is going to continue further towards this target. So it still looks good. RSI is low, so it looks good. I mean, I don't know if it's going to turn up immediately, but it might go up and down for some time and then maybe seek some resolution on the upside. What I would not like to see is definitely break of this 0.06 levels on X bar. Let me see what Oleg is saying. Supply, rare things cost more expensive. Is there a way to decrease the supply of Bitcoin? Yeah, that might be some of the trigger, but we also know that miners thing in China also decrease the hash rate, so the network doesn't operate to its speed, and it will take some time, 6 months to 1 year, that this mining activity is replaced from the other world. And that is already going on. So yeah, but I've seen some chart from the Glass node, and I think I published that. So I will show that to you, although I will ascribe that to courtesy of the Glass node. So this is the Bitcoin, and it is public. It is public on the Twitter. So this is the short-term holders, and most of them are who are holding the Bitcoin are coins below the cost basis. So they're basically in losses. Okay. So there is a big, as you can see, move down in this. So majority of these people are having minus. And if this continues to the downside, I think it will kick them out of the market. So we will see. Robert Rogel. Hi, Alex. As I said last time, I'm interested in survey Discord. Got to motivate already. And you said it will be able to see your guys' chart. Yeah, it's called repository service. Yeah, you can go on trial. You go to the trading analysis webpage, and then you're gonna see there a trial. If you don't, if you can't find it, just write me an email at alex@tradinganalysis.com, so I can guide you and I can send you the link. Ujvai is always active. Man, do you sleep anytime? Cryptos, OHM. It's not enough I give you charts every day, so you have to pump in here and ask for more. I'm joking, man. I love when people are enthusiastic for cryptos. I'm like that as well. Okay, so this is Olympus dollar. Is that the one, Ujvai? Just confirm me, say yes, and then I will look at it. Say yes, say yes. Olympic dollar. Well, Olympic went up and then went down, and then it's going up. Pretty much straightforward analysis. Yeah, so not very convenient pattern here. This was the lows. We go from the low in 1, 2. We need more developments here. We need to something which resembles a clear, some type of a 5-wave pattern. For now, we can, maybe this is just a leading diagonal. So this was some type of a wave 1, down in 2, up in 3, 4, and 5. And we can see some pullback soon, maybe down to these levels where we can find support. And then from there, this area we can continue higher. So it's not very, I mean, wherever you analyze something, you need a bigger set of data. And I just have this November, December. So RSI is pretty much higher on daily. I think it's probably there. On weekly is not even visible, so there is not much data. So we are close to there, and probably this will steer the corrective move to the downside. I don't see any request, guys, so please, we are already 54 minutes in this stream. Yeah, I would like to thank you for being with us today, and hit the like button. I mean, I don't see this like button grows for last couple of months. I don't know where did I go in my head with this like button. So, I mean, hit the like button if you want. If you don't, I don't care. No, we care. We want this content to be seen on the network because we think that this is not because of me, but in general, trading analysis is having a very professional approach to trading, managing risk, and exposing our view. As you can see, we are mostly conservative and very cautious, and we are very well equipped with our tools to notice the signs and then start build on it as some patterns are developing. And over the years, this is one of the most skilled teams that you have out there present. There is more, of course, we are not the only one, but I will say we are one of the most skilled teams in this methodology and our approach. How do we treat actually the profession of trading and analytics as well. So thank you for being with us, and see you next week. Hit the like button and stay well. COVID is not past, so be careful. Take precautionary measures, and we will track these crypto markets for you. And of course, try to be more realistic in our presentation. So thank you on being with us, and see you next week. Bye bye.